There are some insane games announced that we don't even know, so check it out in this video. Subscribe and like if you enjoy it. Thank you. Chrono Odyssey is a huge and ambitious open-world MMORPG. The trailers of the game look unbelievable, and the game is being developed by Chrono Studio. The game will be set in a huge open world with a great exploration and combat system and amazing graphics in Unreal Engine 5. And they say it will have a time mechanic in the game that will change the scenario. The game still have no release date, maybe 2025, maybe 2026, we don't know, but it's coming out for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S and PC. Lost Soul Aside is a new hack-and-slash game with a fast-paced gameplay inspired in Devil May Cry, and the game is being developed by the studio Zero Games. It's being developed in Unreal Engine, and in the gameplays and trailers it looks really interesting, with a unique combat system with a lot of mechanics, enemies and bosses. So if you like games like this, you should keep an eye out for it. The game is probably coming out in 2025, but there is still no release date yet, and it's coming out for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 and PC. And just remember, PlayStation 4 version could be cancelled, but not yet.
While you were playing your pointless
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. It's a new FPS developed by Machine Game Studio, the same developer of the latest Wolfenstein game. It's going to be an action and adventure game with explorations and a dynamic combat system. In some moments we'll be able to control Indiana Jones in third person.
the sense of Africa.
Just different ways to interpret the past.
It was announced as an exclusive of Xbox Series, and this year it was announced that the game is also coming out for PlayStation 5, but just a little bit later. For Xbox Series X and S it's coming out in December 6th, 2024, and also PC, and for PlayStation 5 it will be coming out in some moment of 2025.
Trust me.
Crimson Desert is a massive open-world RPG. The game is being developed by Purabis and the same creators of Black Desert. As you can see, the game is going to be a huge open world game, filled with a lot of different mechanics that you see in other games too. It looks insane in this one. For those who enjoy games like Assassin's Creed, The Witcher or even Zelda, I think you're going to enjoy this one. And it's coming out for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S and PC in 2025. Project The Perceiver is a Chinese fast-paced action RPG game set in an open world and with a Souls-like gameplay. The game is being developed by the studio Paper Games.
那就再唱下去吧。到底是人活进了戏里，还是戏？
The visual beauty of this game is something insane, with graphics and mainly due to the movement of the character and enemies. To explore the vast open world of this game is surely going to be really pleasant.
这把剑，我本不想沾血。
It looks breathtaking, but we need to wait a little bit longer, because there are no release date yet. It may come out in 2025 or 2026. PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 and PC, and PlayStation 4 version could be cancelled. We don't know yet. Instinction is a game for you that is the old and classic dinosaur game. This one is going to be an FPS and is being developed by Hashbane Interactive Studio.
I I wish I hadn't come here for this.
As you can see in the image, the creatures are really impressive in graphics and also move, and it's probably going to be the most realistic dinosaur game ever. The game is absolutely impressive by the trailers and gameplay, but to see the full version of it, we need to wait a little bit longer, as it's coming out to Xbox Series X, Series S, PlayStation 5 and PC in some moment of 2025. Doom the Dark Ages is finally a new journey of Doomslayer after Doom Eternal. That was a great game, by the way. Again, the game is being developed by ID Software, the best studio for it. You guys know Doom already, right? It's a fast-paced FPS game with the focus on the gameplay, with very brutal scenes, by the way. And the story is also good, but the gameplay is the peak. Now we are going to explore a medieval era with new guns and also new enemies, but to see this new masterpiece you need to wait until 2025, as the game is coming out for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, Series S and PC. Judas is finally the new project of Ken Levine, same creator of BioShock franchise. Judas is being developed by the studio Story Games and looks insane. For those who know BioShock, knows what to expect from this game. So it's going to be a fun FPS, probably with a good gameplay, but also a very good story, with aspects of policy and religion. So if you like games with a good storytelling, keep an eye out for this one. But to play it, we'll need to wait until March of 2025, and the game will be coming out to PS5, Xbox Series X, Series S and PC. Where Winds Meet is a new open-world action RPG with some Souls-like mechanics. The game is being developed by Everstone Studio and looks very promising. The game will be set in a mythological China, and it's one of those games to play for hours and hours, discovering new areas, getting better equipment, and doing the main and also secondary quests. All that sounds really exciting, right? But you need to wait until 2025 or 2026 to finally play the game, and it's coming out to PlayStation 5 and PC. The first Berzerker Khazan is another fast-paced action RPG, also with a Souls-like approach. The game is being developed by Studio Nippo and looks absolutely insane. The gameplay will be fast and brutal, and will face different types of enemies, humans, creatures, and also those insane bosses that we know from other Souls-like games. But be aware, cause it looks very hard. For the lovers of action RPG games, must know that the game is coming out only in 2025. No release date yet, but it will be coming out to PlayStation 5, PC, Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S.
I own an island off the coast of Costa Rica.
Jurassic Park Survival is the new experience of the most famous dinosaur park. The game is being developed by Studio Saber Interactive, the same studio of World War Z and Evil Dead the game.
Can anyone hear me? It's Dr. Maya Joshi. I've been left behind on Isla Nubla.
In the game, you'll play as a survivor in the classic park, so we need to run, hide, or even use the environment to create distractions to pass by the dinosaur. It's better be aware if you're going to play it. All about the game sounds really fun, but we still don't know when it's coming out, maybe 2025 or 2026, and it's going to be released for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, Series S, and PC. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater is the remake of one of the most acclaimed Metal Gear games. The remake is being developed by Konami, and the trailer looks very beautiful. If you never played Metal Gear before, know that it's a stealth game, but not just this. It's a very original game with a crazy plot and mechanics in the game that nobody believed it was possible when it came out, but we will need to wait to see if the remake will keep up.
Your codename for this mission will be Naked Snake.
But the game will be coming out in 2025 for Xbox Series X, Series S, PlayStation 5 and PC. The Sinking City 2 is the sequel of the first game. It's a survival horror inspired in the books of H.P. Lovecraft, and the game is being developed by the studio Frogwares. Explore this dark and flooded city set in the year 1920, filled with hideous creatures and huge monsters. The game looks gorgeous in the trailer and is even being developed in Unreal Engine 5, what makes us think that the graphic is going to be really great. Everything looks really good, but we need to wait, as there is still no release date yet, but may come out on 2025 or 2026, Xbox Series X, Series S, PlayStation 5 and PC.
They're combing the streets, searching house to house.
Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra is finally a new American Captain game, but also with the Black Panther, and the game is being developed by the studio called Skydance Interactive.
By my count, that makes 2 super.
In the game will control American Captain, Black Panther, and also 2 other normal characters through the game, each one of them with their features and traits, and all this set during the World War II, so it looks really interesting.
For the Germans, before that, the Eye of Force has been found.
We don't have much more information about the game, but the first trailer looks really good. But we'll need to wait more to see when the game is coming out, probably 2025 or later, Xbox Series X, Series S, PlayStation 5 and PC.
It's better if I
Encounter some obstacles.
That won't be a problem.
We shared land and history.
Us is a third-person game with some RPG mechanics, all set in a semi-open world, and the game is being developed by the studio Rogue Factor.
Families frozen in terror, grief, and rage. Now all of
Explore this dark, mysterious and dangerous place seeking answers for our questions, all with a fast and dynamic melee combat, fighting against mysterious and bizarre creatures. The game looks too impressive to believe, but if it's as good as it looks, we need to wait to see it in 2025. And the game is coming out to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, Series S and PC. Phantom Blade Zero is a new fast-paced action RPG game, and all the videos and gameplays of the game looks absolutely mind-blowing, and it's being developed by the studio S-Game. And the game will see inspirations in Sekiro, but with its own style and personality, and I'd even say that it's one of the most beautiful games revealed. And despite it looks like, it's not a Souls-like, and just have some aspects of Souls-like. We still don't know how close to the end of the development they are, but I believe we will still need to wait a little longer to see the final version of the game. Maybe the end of 2025, but I'd even say 2026, but it's coming out to PlayStation 5 and PC. Monster Hunter Wilds, finally a new adventure for the lovers of Monster Hunter, and it looks a very good one, by the way. And the game is being developed by Capcom and looks insane. You probably know Monster Hunter already, right? But if you don't know, it's a sort of action RPG game, where the main objective of the game is to hunt huge and powerful monsters. That's why it has its name.
One of them's got big.
This is going to be the next big adventure of the series, a massive game filled with content, but will be only coming out in next year, in February 28th of 2025, not so far, and will be available in Xbox Series X, Series S, PlayStation 5 and PC. The Outdoors is a mysterious and intriguing game with impressive scenarios. The game is being developed by the 11-bit studio and will probably be one of the best games of its year.
Your life and see the outcomes of those choices with your very own eyes. The Outdoors tells the story of
Explore this dark and vast universe, seeking for resources, but also building and improving your base. And believe it or not, trade relations and binds with other versions of yourself. Yeah, that sounds crazy. That's why this game looks so interesting.
Yan will need to handle a large mobile base that's designed to be operated by an entire team of qualified personnel.
Did you know this one already? If you didn't, know that this is coming out in the next year, 2025, for Xbox Series X, Series S, PlayStation 5 and PC.
Yan simply lacks the time and skills to deal with all these problems on his own.
Death Stranding 2 is the sequel of the first Death Stranding game, a very original game by the way. The game is obviously being developed by Kojima Studios, so prepare for a crazy and immersive story. The gameplay won't be so different from the first game, but we will see some new mechanics too. After connecting everyone in the first game, we'll see the consequences of this deed in this game, and also explore a whole new area as a deliver and connect other people. If you enjoyed the first game, I'm sure you're really hyped for this one, so keep an eye out as it's coming out in 2025. We're still with no release date yet, but in 2025, and it's coming out exclusively to PlayStation 5.
Once things were up and running. So your friends and co-workers all went their separate ways. Within network...
Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is the sequel of the most realistic medieval RPG of the world, and this massive game is being developed by Warhorse Studios. Prepare to explore and have the most realistic medieval battles in a video game so far. If you played the first one, you know how good it is. But if you didn't, you must know that this is not a game for everyone. Some people will like it, some people will not, but if you enjoy realistic and medieval games, you're going to like this one.
Becoming more than a peasant.
This open-world insane adventure will be available in February 11, 2025 for Xbox Series X, Series S, PlayStation 5 and PC.
Lucia, do you know why you're here?
GTA 6 is probably the most anticipated game of all time, and it's probably going to be one of the best games of all time. And obviously it's being developed by Rockstar Games, and will probably break all the records when it comes out. The game will be set in Vice City, yes, the same Vice City of Vice City game and Vice City Stories, but now in modern day, and with a much bigger map, being the most of it new areas, and also with a whole new story, with 2 new protagonists, Jason and Lucia, to prepare for the greatest GTA ever. I know you're probably hyped for this game, but you'll need to wait until 2025 to play it on Xbox Series X, Series S and PS5. The PC version will come out a little bit later.
Trust?
Trust.
Wuchang Falling Feathers is a new action RPG in a Souls-like style and looks absolutely amazing in the trailer. The game is being developed by the studio called Lindsay.
Signs are really subtle, but over time.
and the game will explore dark and mythological old China, with factions fighting for power, but also some powerful and impressive creatures. So if you like Souls-like games, prepare for this one, cause what we have seen so far looks pretty great. It will be really good to explore and discover the mysteries of this game, but we need to wait until 2025 to finally play it, and it's coming out to Xbox Series X, Series S, PlayStation 5 and PC.
This thing of ours.
Mafia The Old Country is the new episode of this series, a very acclaimed series by the way. The game is being developed by the studio Hangar 13, the same studio from Mafia 3 and Mafia 1 Remake.
Do not exist among us.
The game will be set in the start of the 20th century, and beyond that we didn't see much of the game yet, but if they do a great work like they did in Mafia Remake, it's going to be insane. And there will be a new trailer and new informations in the end of 2024, maybe even with the release date, but the game is coming out in some moment of 2025 for Xbox Series X, Series X, PlayStation 5 and PC.